Good day, learners. I am Mr. Johnfelouise Pareja, and in today's presentation, we will be discussing the students' diversity individual differences. Before we proceed to our presentation, I have a question. Do you ever question yourself why we are all different from other people? And also why there are other people that are good at doing such a thing? The answer of that question, it is because we have different perspectives and experiences in life that can eventually lead us into different skills and interests. And also, there are people who are naturally born talented. At the end of this presentation, learners are expected to gain knowledge and also will apply those knowledge into actions to respect individual differences. In all learning environments, individuals interact with others who are in some way different from them. Factors that bring about student diversity. First, socioeconomic status. Second, thinking learning styles. And lastly, exceptionalities. Socioeconomic status is the position of an individual or group on the socioeconomic scale, which is determined by a combination of social and economic factors such as income, amount and kind of education, type and prestige of occupation, place or residence. Second, thinking learning styles refers to the preferred way an individual processes information. These describe a person's typical way of thinking, remembering, or problem solving. And lastly, the exceptionalities, the state or condition of being exceptional, rare, one of a kind, or usually excellent. A few academic outsiders have been helpful sources of insights into new media and culture, but they are significant by virtue of their exceptionality, not their typicality. How student diversity enriches the learning environment. Students' self-awareness is enhanced by diversity. I know nga most of us kay nabag-ohan sa VSU. Maybe because bag-o na pod nga mga tao ang ato makita. So, by that, we are aware kung asa nato ilugar ang ato kaugalingon ug unsaon nato para maka-adjust ta sa new environment. Student diversity contributes to cognitive development. Since we became aware in ourselves and in our surroundings, we try to think a solution to a certain problem. Students' diversity prepares learners for their role as responsible members of the society. After we think a solution from a certain problem, ato siya i-apply sa real-life situation, and by doing that, we became responsible and prepared individual as part of our society. And lastly, student diversity can promote harmony, so there is unity. Tips on student diversity. Encourage learners to share their personal history and experiences. We must be always ready to listen and understand one another and let students discover and realize that they something in common and they also differ with the rest in several ways. Integrate learning experiences and activities which promote students' multicultural and across-cultural awareness. Initiate co-curricular experiences that aimed at promoting diversity awareness. Let them interview other students. Kay para ma-inform pod ang uban students kung unsa ang pwede o dili pwede buhaton if maka-encounter silang tao nga dili parehas og cultural background. Invite students or have students visit. Kay para ma-visualize nato kung unsa jud ang ilang culture ug unsa ang kalahian sa ila ug sa atong culture. Ask students if they have ever been experienced personal target of prejudice or discrimination, so that we became aware if that person is okay or not. Identify patterns of unity that transcends group differences. Same gender groups or same race or ethnicity group. Similar gender but different with respect to race or ethnicity, or similar in age but different in gender. Learning styles or personality profile. Communicate high expectations to students from all subgroups. Example, assigning them the role of reporter, the one that explains the topic in their presentation. Engage in paired discussions in order to share their knowledge in a certain topic. Schedule instructor-student conference. Use varied instructional methods to accommodate students' diversity in learning styles. Diversify the sensory or perceptual modalities. Examples: orally, pictorial presentations, or hands-on experience. Diversify the instructional formats or procedures. First, use formats that are student-centered. Example, class discussion and small group works. Second, teacher-centered. Example, lectures and demonstrations. Third, use formats that are unstructured. Example, trial and error discovery. Fourth, structured. Example, step-by-step instructions. And finally, fifth, use procedures that involves both independent learning and interdependent learning. Vary the examples you use to illustrate concepts in order to provide multiple contexts that are relevant to students from diverse backgrounds. Use ideas, comments, and questions that students raise in class. Kay para matest if naa ba jud sila'y nasabtan during the discussion. Ask students to provide their own examples of concepts based on experience, to give them the opportunity to think and also to relate themselves into the topic. Have students apply concepts by placing them in situation or context. Kay para ila ma-visualize ilang kaugalingon if unsay mga action na ilang buhaton if sila ang naa sa sitwasyon. Adapt to the students' diverse backgrounds and learning styles by following them personal choice and decision-making opportunities concerning what they will learn and how they will learn it. Giving the learner more decision-making opportunity with respect to learning task. Promote positive students' attitudes towards subject matter. Fosters more positive interactions among students. Let students work more consistently with lesser teacher intervention. Diversify your methods of assessing and evaluating student learning. First, panel presentations. Second, group projects. Third, visual presentations. And lastly, dramatic unit. Panel presentation. A panel discussion or simply a panel involves a group of people gathered to discuss a topic in front of an audience, typically at scientific, business, or academic conferences, fan conventions, and on television show. Group projects. Group projects means a project undertaken by customer and one or more group members and or project group members. Visual presentations refers to the expression of ideas about some matters while using visual aids such as visual multimedia from electronic media such as television, screens, and web. Pages to environmental context such as retail displays and road signs. Usual communication is virtually everywhere. Dramatic vignette. A vignette is a short scene in literature that is used to describe a moment in time. It is descriptive and creates an atmosphere around a character, an incident, an emotion, or a place. Dictionary.com defines it as a small, graceful literary sketch. Purposely from small decision groups of students from diverse backgrounds. You can form groups of students with different learning styles, different cultural background. In that way, you let your students express themselves and also to let them discover new things and to communicate with their classmates.